LuSeed is a medical device company that's in the clinical phase, and we operate in the neuro domain. So our mission is to provide with a safe, effective, and robust solution for the treatment of brain aneurysms. Let me say a few words about this pathology. Brain aneurysms are a result of a local weakening in a blood vessel segment, and it creates what you see here, this bulb. It's evident in roughly 1 out of 20 people, and 30% of which will experience a hemorrhagic stroke throughout their lifetime, unless they're treated. Now, 40% of all the aneurysms are considered wide necks, and they're especially difficult to treat. And for this segment, there's a new family of devices called intrasaccular flow diverters. Now, here there's a major unmet need. Using these devices, you have only 58% of long-term treatment efficacy, which is roughly like flipping a coin. And on top of that, 1/5 of the cases would have to go through retreatment, either with stent or a balloon, which makes it super difficult and super risky. On top of this, there's no robust solution for the two main subtypes of aneurysms, bifurcating aneurysms and sidewall aneurysms, which leaves 30% of the market untapped. And besides that, there are major usability issues with the approved devices in the market, specifically in the US, as they're very difficult to size. The web device, I'll show it to you later on, has 44 sizes. So you can imagine how difficult it is to match the right device to the aneurysm. This is LuSeed's device, and it's a one-and-done device that's able to treat both subtypes of aneurysms, bifurcating and sidewalls. On top of that, it addresses the main design and usability issues that are presented with the current devices. And I'll show you in the upcoming slides exactly how we do it. Now, on the left-hand side and then the center side, you can see the web and the contour, and you can see the degree of protrusion that they have into the parent artery. Now, this is a major safety risk. By having this protrusion, you're actually blocking the blood flow to adjacent arteries on one hand, and on the other hand, you're increasing the risk of thromboembolic events, of blood clots, of stroke eventually. On the right-hand side, you can see a clinical image of LuSeed's device, and you can see we have no footprint in the parent artery, which is a major advantage. Now let's take it to the extreme, sidewall aneurysms. You can see that in the web on the left-hand side, and in the contour, there's some sort of trade-off. Either they protrude too much the feeding artery, blocking the blood, or they're leaving the aneurysm still in need for care, as it's partially exposed, I would say. On the right-hand side, you can see LuSeed's device, which fills the volume of the aneurysm while keeping the blood vessel intact. Now, if we just have a summary of what you have seen, LuSeed is the only device that can successfully treat both types of aneurysms. On top of that, we have a certain design to our proximal face, which is like a Roman arc and can withstand the water hammer effect, the pulsatile pressure, much better than other devices. We have only 7 sizes as opposed to 44 with the web, so it's easier to match the right device to the aneurysm. And our acute blood blockage is better as our device is denser, which makes it more suitable for ruptured cases, acute cases. Our overall market is supposed to be larger because of these extra attributes. A bit about our clinical experience. LuSeed has done 7 patients to date, for 2 of which we have 6 months data that shows complete occlusion. On top of that, next month, we're actually starting our EU pilot study of 10 to 15 patients. And here in the image, you can see one of the cases we've done, a really complex eccentric ACOM aneurysm that was treated in 15 minutes. If you look at the competitive landscape and differentiation, so LuSeed's device has a really good balance between the number of indications it can address and the ease of use. So this enables us not only to compete with our own family of devices, but we can actually lean into flow diverters, which is a new segment of the market. a bit about the overall market. The device market for brain aneurysms is $2.5 billion a year, with a compound annual growth rate of 14.4, which makes it one of the fastest growing markets in the medical device domain. The reimbursement for such devices is $17,000 per device in the United States, and we aim to use the same codes. With regard to the market opportunity, in 2023, LSI Vascular was bought by Stryker for more than $500 million. But what's interesting about this transaction and other transactions in this domain is not the amount, but the phase. All of these companies were bought just after receiving their approval for the pivotal study in the United States. So it shows you how hungry the strategics are, and they have a good reason to be hungry in this domain. And the reason for that is Stryker has a $1 billion coil business, and coils have been around for 30 years. You can talk to new interventionists, they're looking for one-and-done devices, and this is exactly what LuSeed is bringing to the market. A bit about our team. As part of the management, we have Mr. Bob Stern, which was the president and COO of Micros. He was also in the board of Neuravi. Both companies were sold to J&J. We have Professor Elazar Edelman. I'm sure that some of you know him. He heads the Harvard and MIT Biomedical Engineering Department. Professor Vitor Mendes Pereira, one of the top KOLs in our field. On top of that, we have in our board, Asaf Barnea, which is the CEO of Sonara Ventures and Capital, a VC backed by Teva and Philips. Eli Davidai, he heads one of the largest private equities in Wall Street these days. Okay, that's about it. Thank you so much. Any questions? Thank you.